Guess who's back? Back again. The wrestling news with the dude is back. So, as the dude delivers the wrestling news, unfortunately, this is a sad news. So, the news reported that one of the WWE Divas wrestler, Ashley Massaro, passed away. She performed in WWE from 2005 to 2008, and she was beloved by her fellow superstars and fans around the world. And as you can see, her last tweet on Twitter that proves that fans always care for her and she always cares all of her fans. Her tweet says, "Just answered a ton of fan mail, so you guys should be receiving them soon. Love ya punks." This proves that she would love to come back in the ring. Also, she would love to come back to the WWE, even though it didn't happen sadly since she passed away. So let's take a look back at one of her greatest moments in WWE. Ashley made her debut on Monday Night Raw. She won a WWE Diva Search competition and won a sum of $250,000 plus a 1-year contract with the company. And this happened in 2005. Upon making her arrival on the A show, she was attacked by Vince's Devil, consisting of Candice Michelle and Tori Wilson. Vince's Devils was a villain group of female wrestlers in WWE, and this was named after the chairman of the WWE, Vince McMahon, which means that Vince loves ladies, of course. And this happened when Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle were traded to Raw, while Stacy Keibler and Christy Hemme were moved to SmackDown. And during their debut on Raw, the duo of these two began a new storyline when they were congratulate her for winning the competition. But instead, they taunted her and attacked her. On the August 29th episode of Raw, Ashley lost her debut match sadly in the WWE to a third member of Vince's Devils, Victoria. So they've been attacking her for weeks constantly until Ashley brought in some help in the forms of WWE Women's Champion Trish Stratus, who eventually turned face in the process. She managed to hold her own in the coming weeks and team up with Trish to defeat Victoria and Tori Wilson at Unforgiven 2005. And the following night on Raw after Unforgiven, Ashley accompanied Trish where she defeated Tori Wilson. After the match, the duo were attacked by the Vince Devils. The feud continued into the WWE Homecoming on Raw, where Trish and Ashley defeated Tori, Candice, and Victoria in the first ever 3-on-2 bra and panties match by stripping all three of their opponents. And then throughout the rest of 2005, Ashley continued to wrestle matches and was involved in the annual Fulfill Your Fantasy Diva Battle Royal at Taboo Tuesday for her first shot at the WWE Women's Championship. And she eliminated Candice Michelle before being eliminated by Victoria. At a New Year's resolution in January, history has been made as Ashley won the first ever bra and panties gauntlet match by being the final wrestler left still wearing her clothes. And throughout early 2006, she was the victim of a series of attacks from Mickie James. At the Royal Rumble, Mickie James defeated Ashley Massaro from the Women's Battle Royal, and her feud with Mickie James was unfortunately cut short. She went undergo surgery to insert a 5-inch metal plate and 8 screws into her legs, and during her recovery, she still occasionally appeared on Raw as part of the Trish Stratus and Mickie James feud. On March 20, 2006 episode of Raw, and she was being kidnapped by Mickie James to lure Trish into saving her, but Mickie was successfully attacked Trish eventually. And 2 months later, Ashley returned to television and she was officially on SmackDown as a guest commentator during the match between Crystal and Jillian Hall. And on the following week of SmackDown, she defeated Crystal, Jillian Hall, and Michelle McCool in a bikini contest. She won her SmackDown debut on July 21st when she teamed up with Jillian to defeat Michelle McCool and Crystal. At the Great American Bash, she won the Fatal 4-Way Bra and Panties match. I gotta say, she must be the master of Bra and Panties match. On an edition of August 4 of SmackDown, she broke her knuckle in a match against Crystal, unfortunately. And then she starts to become a manager of Paul London and Brian Kendrick when they defeated Idol Stevens, better known as Damian Sandow, Casey James, and Michelle McCool in a 6-person mixed tag team match. She participated in a Trick or Treat Battle Royal, which was won by Crystal. It was on October 27. And on an edition of SmackDown December 19, she teamed up with Lita in a winning effort by defeating Jillian Hall and Crystal in a tag team match, playa. And then in the following year, 2007, on January 2nd, she competed against Jillian Hall, which she won. And on January 26th episode of SmackDown, she teamed up with Paul London and Brian Kendrick, sadly in a losing effort to the M&M, Joey Mercury, Johnny Nitro, and Melina in a 6-person mixed tag team match. During an edition of February 16, 2007 of SmackDown, she unveiled her Playboy cover surrounding the release of magazine, and she engaged in a feud with Jillian Hall. Oh, and not to mention that Jillian actually turned heel because of her jealousy of Ashley's recent Playboy appearance. And this rivalry turned into Jillian Hall into a villain in a match between these two. In which case, this is right around the time when she became the worst singer ever in WWE. And at No Way Out, she won the first ever Divas Invitational by removing a top and to reveal the breasts, which were covered with the Playboy bunny pasties. Jeez, how many times has she won the first ever stipulation? She began a feud with the WWE Women's Champion Melina from Monday Night Raw after No Way Out, and she was angry over the publicity that Ashley received a lot of attention because of the Playboy cover. And on March 9th episode of SmackDown, the rivalry was taken to the next level when they were having a cat fight broken out on the inaugural edition of Miz TV, hosted by The Miz, of course. On March 16th episode of SmackDown, Ashley teamed up with Paul London and Brian Kendrick in a losing effort to the M&M in a 6-person mixed tag team match once again. And then on the following week of SmackDown, Ashley would get into a catfight after Melina attempted to make an interference during a match between a team of Paul London and Brian Kendrick and M&M. 3 days later, on an episode of Monday Night Raw, Ashley teamed up with Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle, and so much for their feud, am I right? And yeah, so they team up in a winning effort by defeating a team of Melina, Jillian Hall, and Victoria. Ashley made her WrestleMania debut when she unsuccessfully challenged Melina for the WWE Women's Championship in a lumberjill match. And after WrestleMania, she continued to manage a team of Paul London and Brian Kendrick, the WWE Tag Team Champions. The following week in storyline, she was attacked by Jillian Hall. However, in reality, she had loosened a screw in her ankle, which has been inserted the previous year after she legitimately fractured her fibula and tibia while in a battle royal. Sorry if I mispronounced it. She later returned on the June 1st of 2007 episode of SmackDown, helping Michelle McCool defeating Jillian Hall after she distracted her. This return was short-lived when on an edition of June 8th, she was suspended indefinitely after accidentally spilling Vince McMahon's coffee on him. However, in reality, she took her time off to participate on a show called Survivor. And it's an American version of International Survivor reality competition television. And she made her return in the following year. And it was the first episode of Monday Night Raw in 2008. And she won a lingerie pillow fight against Maria, Jillian Hall, Melina, and Mickie James. And on the following week episode of Raw, she teamed up with Mickie James and Maria in a losing effort to the team of Beth Phoenix, Jillian Hall, and Melina in a 6-person tag team match. And fun fact, she quietly was drafted to Raw all of a sudden. She began a storyline with Maria and Santino Marella on the January 21st episode of Raw, attempting to convince Maria to pose for Playboy, but was interrupted by Santino Marella. And at the Royal Rumble 2008, she again attempted to convince Maria by telling that Hugh Hefner wanted her to pose for Playboy before Maria could answer. She would then beat down Santino's big surprise Big Dick Johnson when she attempted to perform a striptease. At the No Way Out 2008, she would appear with Maria in a segment at the Playboy Mansion. And in the following month, on an episode of Monday Night Raw, Ashley interfered in the match between Maria and Melina. And after the match, Santino came down to the ring, so Jerry Lawler, who was tired of Santino's action over the previous weeks, he knocked Santino out of the ring, which sets up the 6-person mixed tag team match, in which they lost. Ashley made her second appearance at WrestleMania 24 when she replaced Candice Michelle, who was out with an injury in the Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjack match, teaming up with Maria, suddenly losing to Beth Phoenix and Melina after interference from Santino Marella. It's great to see Snoop Dogg appearing during this match, but it sucks that due to some technical difficulties, the lights went out at the Citrus Bowl and went out during the match. And about 2 to 3 weeks after WrestleMania, Ashley teamed up with Maria in a losing effort to the team of Melina and Jillian Hall in a tag team match, playa. She also participated in a 12-wrestler tag team match at Backlash, where Beth Phoenix pinned her to get the win for her team. And on April 28 episode of Raw, she competed in her last match by teaming up with Michelle McCool, Cherry, Kelly Kelly, Maria, and Mickie James in a winning effort, defeating Layla, Melina, Beth Phoenix, Natalia, Jillian Hall, and Victoria. And then eventually she was released from her WWE contract in July 9, 2008. A week prior to her release, she announced that she had to ask to be let go from her contract due to her daughter being sick. Surprisingly, her daughter is actually 18 years old. And after she left with the company, she hasn't done anything much that is related to professional wrestling. She's been doing some projects and stuff that she does outside of professional wrestling. 10 years later, she wanted to come back to professional wrestling all of a sudden. But then eventually, she passed away on May 16, 2019 at the age of 39. Wow. She was way too young. She was actually one of the best babyface women's wrestlers who have never ever turned heel in the ruthless aggression era. Honestly, she would have won the women's championship at least. Oh, and not to mention that she was one of the first women to have pyro entrance. I hope that she gets inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in the future. Our hearts and deepest condolences go out to all of those who are involved in this incredibly sad situation, especially to all the families and friends of Ashley. So with that being said, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Tap that little bell so you don't want to miss the latest video. As always, peace and good day, and also rest in peace, Ashley.